Hello and welcome to our discussion on organizational communications. Today we will answer several questions from what it is to why it's important for Acme Widget. Please ensure you make note of any questions you have as we go through this presentation, and I will ensure we have plenty of time at the end to answer any questions you may have. So first, let's talk about what organizational communications is. Organizational communication is the consideration, analysis, and criticism of the role of communication in organizational contexts. It functions to inform, persuade, and promote goodwill. There are two key approaches: communication within an organization, which is what we normally think of when we think of an organization, and communication or an organization as communication. Communication that happens within organization. Think of some examples might be sending emails, meetings, teleconferences, memos. The organization is the container, and communication is what flows within the container. Communication is then shaped by the structure of the organization. Key here is that the organization is seen as something separate from communication. When we think of organizations as communication, think of people interpreting the exact same message in a different way, and it can be deceptive in their communication. The meaning of language changes depending on the context. What you say is often much less important than how you say it. It sees communication as the fundamental process that shapes social reality. Organization as communication enables us to question and investigate key organizational realities, not just accept them as givens. Integrated marketing communications is a marketing strategy that has emerged in the recent past. It seeks to fuse modern and traditional marketing with the intention of creating an efficient, reliable tool to convey a company's brand. It leads to develop and maintenance of good company-customer relationships. And there are four types of integrated marketing communications. External, and this is where the marketing task is outsourced to a firm or public relation firm. They are then tasked with designing and developing the most effective strategies. We have internal. This involves the top-level management ensuring that their employees are happy and excited about what they've developed. This is in hopes that they leak the details prematurely to customers prior to the product hitting the market. We have horizontal. This open flow of information provides the synergy required to make the strategy a success and demands a lot of efficiency between the teams who are tasked to develop, distribute, and finance. The vertical is the strategy demands that the product develop to fit with the corporate policy as well as the structure of the company. It's really there to support the company's mission and goal. The 5 functions of communication in business are motivation, control, interaction, providing information, and feedback. The motivation is to help motivate workers to achieve their peak performance by clarifying or communicating expectations of employees and providing incentives. It can help a company meet their objectives. Communication is also used as a way to maintain control over employees and work environments. Interaction occurs through communication. It's between workers, clients, and customers. It is essential to work together on a project. Thinking within your organization, how do you know when a change has been implemented? This is done through communication, be it written or verbal. It could be through a team meeting, maybe a memo, or a webinar. Feedback is also a very big part of any business communication. Feedback around recent changes, job results, or proposed system updates. Transparency in organizations. This is the extent to which its actions are observable by outsiders. Transparency is an essential part of accountability, since it allows for judgments about whether an organization is meeting its objectives and obligations. There are 3 primary dimensions of transparency: information disclosure, clarity, and accuracy. Information disclosure, which can be equated to power, is the information can be shared freely, or someone may withhold information as a source of influence. Clarity is the ease in which the information provided is understood. Taking into consideration the audience, the sensitivities, or cultural differences can really help an organization be more transparent. And accuracy is integrity, truthful representation, organizational decisions, policies, and practices. Organizations that value honest, trust, and ethical practices encourage accuracy and increase transparency. So, what is the connection between targeted messaging and corporate branding? Many people confuse communication with marketing. Both are really intended to enhance demand. They're co-reliant siblings from beginning to end and are best done in conjunction with each other. Understand what makes messages and messengers effective. Keep the message easy to understand, memorable, and persuasive. Focus on the impact, resonance, and the real message that drive this action. Keep the messages fresh in the minds of the employees will help reinforce the message. Practice and repeat. Focus on the benefits and features. What problems do you help to solve? What critical services do you provide? And stick to the foundation built. Remember, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And engage your audience early and often, remembering not to become a robot, and rather use the opportunity to relay your message in an effective way. Strategies to build or maintain Acme's reputation. The first step would be to define the stakeholder groups and why they are important. There are two categories under determining communication channels. They are dynamic or static. In brand communication strategy, employees are an example of dynamic. This is marked by the continuous change, while the company's website and print advertisements would be considered static brand communication, as they require little or no change once developed. You need to ensure you develop customized brand messaging to the stakeholder. The brand champion develops that good story targeted for each stakeholder, while the brand ambassador embodies the brand. To ensure the brand communication strategy will succeed and each ambassador is telling the same story, it must contain these three things: clarity, consistency, and constancy. The message must be clear. Develop one with minimal changes and reiteration. Align and reinforce external and internal brand communications by ensuring employees are trained to deliver consistent brand messages. And lastly, measure how well the brand communications were done and if there has been improvements in the stakeholders' perception by brand tracking audits. It is useful to have a dedicated role for organizational communication, as it helps managers to perform basic management functions like planning, organizing, motivating, and controlling. Helps employers to assess performance, and acts as a source of information in the decision-making process, helps to collaborate, build strong positive relationships, and encourage ideas and innovation throughout the organization. So what questions might you have?